Howdy Neighbors, David here. And today on Boondock Stallions, I'm doing my full review and reaction for The Mandalorian, Episode 8 of Season 2, the finale for the year. It's hot. Anyways, before we get started, full spoilers ahead. I'm going to tell you guys everything, and if you haven't already, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you can keep up to date with other shows that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a friendly fire on Batwoman here, probably here tomorrow or the next day. I'll start filming it and then upload it here a couple of days after, because I just got done watching the first season of Batwoman and I liked it, and I know that Ruby Rose is no longer going to be in it, and they've already premiered the preview for Season 2 and the direction that it looks like it's going to go in, and I want to talk about that in a friendly fire situation because I like it, but I have notes. So let's see, where were we? Yes. Did you see that? Oh my god! The Mandalorian. I'm super happy that Bo-Katan and them were back, and that there was some friction between the Mandalorians and Boba Fett, and obviously they made mention of him being a clone. Moff Gideon, as always, Giancarlo Esposito, you're a monster. You're a monster, sir. You're a monster, but you are an awesome monster. I loved every second that you were on there playing the best of the bad guys as usual, Gus. Let's see. Before we get to the elephant in the room, I'm super happy Grogu didn't die. Oh, I held my breath the entire episode thinking Grogu was either going to die or something awful was going to happen. It was going to be bad. I had many terrible predictions because, like I said, everybody was worried or shrugging off that Grogu would be okay because it's Disney and Disney's not going to let Grogu die. But then I have to remind you all that they started Pirates of the Caribbean 3 by hanging an innocent singing child. So, I mean, if they're willing to do that in a movie, I mean, Grogu stood absolutely no chance. But he made it. It's good. Like I said, yeah, I was expecting Ezra Bridger to be the one to reach out to Grogu and let him know how to find him. What I was not expecting at all is what we got. Do you remember the most awesome scene in the history of Rogue One? Sure you do. It was the hallway scene. Probably one of the greatest hallway scenes in cinematic history, where Darth Vader annihilates everything in his path. Well, guess what? Luke Skywalker lives up to the family name as he gets not one, but 2 hallway scenes in this episode. I mean, he destroyed the Dark Troopers. He destroyed the Dark Troopers the way Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan tore down all the other little droids in The Phantom Menace. There was no stopping him. He was so much more powerful than he was at the end of Return of the Jedi. And yeah, it looks like it's not too long after Return of the Jedi, by the way. Couple of years, few years, tops, max, like 3, 4 years. 4-ish, something. Mark Hamill, back as Luke Skywalker. That was not another actor. That was them de-aging Mark Hamill. And while they did pretty good for the most part, there were some times when you're like, it's like playing the game. But overall, I think they did really well. The whole scene, the minute the X-Wing showed up and he refused to announce himself, and then he just showed up all... I know, that is just an awful lightsaber, but I'm super excited. I'm on maybe my 3rd cup of coffee, because I'm usually asleep right now. I have to be at work in like 4 hours. Like 3 hours. And so I shouldn't really be awake right now making this reaction video, but I'm going to stay up. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to go to work with like 2 hours of sleep, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So Luke Skywalker, oh my god. I was not expecting us to have to part ways with Grogu so soon. The Mandalorian literally took off his helmet, and we ended with him completely without the helmet. And it was very emotional, very powerful. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Actually, I plotted out Grogu's first words, and he didn't have any. I'm upset that Grogu didn't say anything because I'd imagined them parting ways with Ahsoka. I'd assumed that Grogu was going to go with Ahsoka, and I pictured it would be this big thing, and he hands Grogu over, and Grogu says, "The way this is." Instead of saying, "This is the way," obviously, because that's how Yoda spoke, and I'm not saying that he's going to speak in that same backwards dialect. I'm just saying that it would have been awesome if those were his first words. But alas, no words from Grogu, which means that come season 3, if we get Grogu back in season 3, he could be off training with Luke. I mean, obviously he left with Luke, but we don't know how long he's going to be there, if he's going to be a permanent thing for him, or does he die in the temple? Like, I don't want to say it, but does Grogu get taken out by fucking Kylo Ren? Like, is he there at the temple when Luke Skywalker and his Jedi are slaughtered? Well, I mean, obviously Luke's not slaughtered, but is he there amongst the students, or is he elsewhere back with Mando? Please let him be back with Mando. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.